Barry Foley here with Rob Takoyan. We are at Roosevelt High School for another Friday night high school rugby night here in Fresno, California. We've got the Bullard High School Knights playing the Clovis High School Huskies. So we're going to kick off in just a second here.
Bullard leads the division at 8-0. If they're successful in winning out, then they'll host a team from the Sacramento area. The second place team in our league will host, or will actually visit San Francisco, Bay Area team, for the playoffs. And that, I believe, is in about 2 weeks. So two good teams here. Bullard's shown some tremendous rugby all season, and Clovis has always been a very tough side, and I'm sure looking to get an upset here.
Yeah, we've got some good coaches on both sides. We got Pat Kwan, the head coach of the Bullard Rugby Club. He's a longtime rugby player, played college rugby down in San Diego.
Played on back, I think.
National championship as well. And we've got Dave Paul, the head coach of the Clovis team, is a former Fresno Rugby Club player and longtime Fresno rugby player. So we got to kick off by Bullard to Clovis. Good tackling going on by both teams right now. See how they set up. Little bobble here. Going to reset the ball. In rugby, you want to keep possession of the ball. That's the name of the game. Maintain possession, and there is no limit. We've got a knock on by Clovis High, so it'll be a scrum to Bullard.
So a knock on is when the team with the ball, or the team receiving the ball, drops it. It doesn't go backward, and you need to in order to restart after a knock on. You have what's called a scrum. It's 8 forwards on each team coming together. The team that didn't knock it on gets possession, and you'll see their number 9s right there. They're called scrum halves, and the Bullard scrum half will put the ball in when his team's ready. It has to go straight down the middle, but the team who is putting it in has a bit of an advantage. They know when they're going to put the ball in.
So the referee is going to step in there. He's going to make sure it's safe the first couple of times. We've got new players coming together, so this is the part that we want to make the most important play of the rugby game sometimes, to be safe at this restart. So number 8 picks up the ball and heads around to the weak side. Good tackling going on by Clovis there. Scrum half picks up the ball again. Wasn't held down, so he kept going.
And as Barry was starting to say, you can be tackled as many times as you want as long as you retain possession of the ball. The center breaks your line pretty well there.
Yeah, good running. Going to go strong side here again. Good big guy, number 4 here for Bullard.
So the referee has an advantage to Bullard. So what that means is they get to continue with the ball as long as they can. If they don't get an advantage after a few plays, then the ref will blow it up, and Bullard will have a penalty.
Yep, so the referee saw something, he let it play on, and now he stopped it. And now it's going to be Bullard's play with a free tap and go. Here's what they've chosen to do. Run hard forward. Looks like it was knocked on.
Unlucky.
So yeah, too bad there. They were close to the goal line. Clovis has the ball now, so that's their maintained possession. They've got an advantage again. The referee has his hand out, or he did.
So once you're tackled to the ground, you have to release the ball in rugby. Neither team's allowed to play the ball if they're not on their feet. So there's a penalty for Fresno High. They're taking for Clovis for taking a quick tap.
Yep.
Nice ball.
Nice play there. Nice little kick forward. That's probably going to find touch over there. Yep.
Oh.
Knocked out by the Clovis or Bullard player.
So that's a line out to Clovis. The line out's another way of restarting, similar to the scrum. When the ball goes out of bounds, it's the team that did not knock it out gets the throw in. In this case, it's Clovis High. It's actually, this is the genesis. This is where a jump ball in basketball came from, believe it or not.
So the throw in here by Clovis has to go down the middle of that, what they call a tunnel. It's a 1 meter tunnel between the players. It's supposed to go straight down, so there's no advantage to either team. That's a good throw, because the wind kind of caught it, I think, to the side, but the ref, he'll still call it, even though the wind might have blown it. It has to go all the way down that tunnel straight, so it's going to be an advantage to Bullard, and they're going to choose to scrum it. They could have called for another lineup, but I think with the wind here tonight, they'll probably go to a scrum most times.
So you'll see the forwards, as I mentioned earlier in the scrum, are the guys up tight. The backs are set. The backs have to be in a scrum. They have to be 4 yards back from their own team's last foot. You'll see that the defensive team is usually in a flat line straight across the field, and the team who has the put in for the scrum is usually at an angle so they can attack. Looks like the Fresno or the Bullard High runner slipped.
Yep, they're maintaining the possession though. Although the referee's got his hand up again, it's a penalty advantage. Not sure what he saw, but here they're going to play on, and now the referee's going to give him the penalty back to where he saw. It was probably, looked like it was offsides,
yes,
maybe.
offsides.
So now it's Bullard's ball way back where the referee's at.
It's a free kick. It's a direct kick for them, so they have to tap and run, or they can kick it out of bounds, and they've chosen to tap and go. Putting the Clovis High defense on their back foot.
Yep.
And so they'll try to recycle the ball quickly to keep them maintain the momentum.
They've got a nice line here with their backs. Hopefully they'll get it out to them. Looks like they're going to try. Skip
they're
the first
spinning it.
guy. There we go. Nice pass
Nice
off.
pass. Nice dish.
Again, we were saying earlier, the first game, this field is a little bit narrow.
Oh, that's unlucky.
That was too bad. Yeah, off the foot of the Bullard player. Looks like this field's a little narrow. This is a football field for Roosevelt High School. It's a nice conditioned field, but they've marked it a little narrow. There are some concrete barriers on the side here, so they have to watch out for. So in rugby, we like to have a little wider field to let those backs do some more running, and it's a little short, but the width is probably the biggest thing that's affecting some of the games here tonight.
And a rugby pitch is similar to a soccer pitch. It's 100 meters or 100 yards long, anywhere between 65 or 60 and 75 yards wide. So there's a lot of width in a standard rugby field. So there's a lot of running, a lot of space to move.
So the referee's going to have them restart this scrum. They weren't in a very good position. Dan Wilson is our referee tonight. Dan is a longtime Fresno Rugby Club player. He's been a referee now for about 6 or 7 years. He's got a lot of experience on both levels of playing rugby. He was an excellent rugby player. Generally played 8-man or flanker in his career, but he's very knowledgeable of the game and will control these guys very well out here. The referee is the sole person that makes the decisions at this level on the field, much like soccer. Even though there are some touch judges here, he will generally make all the calls himself at this level.
So that's one person governing 30 people on the pitch. So they have to take charge. You'll hear in rugby, you'll hear the referee talking a lot to the players. It's almost part of the game, where they're not just calling things like in football or basketball. They're actually, they'll work with the players and make sure they're doing things correctly and give them an opportunity to fix things if it doesn't affect the other team's advantage.
Yep, so good example right here. That prop didn't get down. He's going to talk to him a little bit, say, okay, here's next time we put the ball in, you need to be down. He'll probably give him a warning once or twice, and then he will start penalizing players.
And there's a scrum.
So Bullard's won it.
Oh,
They're
Bullard's
pick
still on the ball.
Eight-man
Big
picks
number
it
8 picks it up and dishes. Yeah, go ahead.
Nice little play there.
Clovis doing a very good job of setting their defense quickly.
Yep. Once the ball's out, I would say
interception.
Oh boy, too bad there. Good idea. If he was off the line quickly there, if it was legal, he could have gone all the way. But he knocked it on, he did knock it on. So it should be an advantage to Bullard here. We'll see.
I think the referee called it backward.
Okay, all right. Getting good tackling here on Clovis. The Bullets are, maintaining the ball, but they're not getting very far.
As you can see, though, the possession is the key.
Yep.
We spoke earlier. There's no 4 downs here. You can just keep maintaining possession as long as you
keep going.
And the strategy there is to suck the defensive players in. Oh, there's a big run.
Yeah, nice run straight up the field there by the number 8 from Bullard. And especially on this short field, these players, we noticed in the first game, the more the runs they make straight up, the more beneficial it is. We've got the referee called a knock on, and plus he's going to take a little second here for number 5, who's on the ground, might have had a slight injury. He's going to get looked at here by our trainers. We have trainers out here for every high school rugby game. Very important to look after the health and well-being of our players.
So that gives us a second to talk a little bit about the rugby, or the rules of rugby. There are three primary reasons that the rules of rugby exist, and they are first and foremost the safety of the players. So you'll see, whereas in other sports, it may look like a little barbaric, but for instance, your tackles must be below the armpits. There's no high tackles allowed. There's no head hunting. There's no using your own player to block for you. If you tackle a guy and take him off the ground, you must take him down to the ground gently. You cannot spear him. So the safety is paramount. Additionally, the continuity of the game, so not slowing the game down, is very important. We like to keep the game moving. And then finally, as an advantage, you'll see in rugby where you have advantages called, as we said earlier. If a team knocks it on and the other team the defensive team gets the ball and gains an advantage, they won't stop it right away. They'll continue to play to see if that team can capitalize on that advantage, which means you never stop until the whistle, because if you do, the other team will pick the ball up and run.
Yep. So it looks like the injured player was Hexton Coronado, who went off the field. I could see like a little cut on his eye, or a little over his eye, or maybe his ear. So the trainer over there will look at him, take care of him, and make sure he's okay. But you can't have an injury like that. You can't play with blood on any part of your body in rugby. Many sports are like that. So he'll come out either permanently or until he's covered up, fixed up. So we've got a knock on here by Bullard. It'll be Clovis Highs put in on their scrum right here.
Bullard's been doing a great job recycling the ball and passing the ball out of tackles, and then Clovis has also been doing a great job defending and tackling. They've been playing in the Clovis end most of the matches so far, so there's a lot of pressure here. Clovis is going to want to, I think, probably try to kick this ball, get some distance, get out of their own end if they can.
Yeah, that'd be a smart play if they can get their back or fly half to kick for distance down here. I mean,
He doesn't look like he's ready to, though, I think.
Yeah, he's ready to run. Not sure. Well, they're electing to run it from there. Their fullback got tackled right there, so they've lost a little bit of ground. Didn't get too far, but they do have possession still. We're about 12 minutes into this game, and still no score. 0-0. Penalty against Bullard for coming in from the side. Looks like he's calling.
Oh, he's taking a tap.
Tap. I don't know if he's still playing. He knocked it, but he kicked it, I guess, forward, but that was all right. So Clovis is still attacking here, trying to get out of their own side of the field for the first time. Bullard on defense here, good defensive line, but another penalty against Clovis for.
I'm not sure. They may have passed the
missed
ball.
his signal there. Big number 8 there with a big run. Number 3, nice follow, yeah, nice little offload to number 3. Resetting, picked up by the big guy. Some hard running there.
Very hard running.
And it's a try for Bullard, given. Nice job. The referee was going to give a penalty there, but the guy scored the try. That was number, I think, what are their flankers for? 7. Is it 7? Yeah, number 7 for.
I think it's Josh Gutierrez, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, Joshua Gutierrez scored there for Bullard. So that gives us our first score of the night, right inside the goal post for Bullard. 5.
So in rugby, it's PAT just like in football. The try itself is worth 5 points, the touchdown. The points after were 2, so it's a total of 7. And unlike football, you have to take your kick directly out from where you scored. So you want to score it as near to the post as you can to make it easier kick. If you had scored out here toward the sideline, then the kicker would have had to take the kick from the sideline.
Number 10, Timothy Farrow with a 2-point conversion there. Good. So we got a score 7-0 in favor of Bullard with 22 minutes and 19 seconds to go in the first half. So a little different game than the first game. This is a closer game, tight game. 2 very, very good teams here playing. Bullard, again, with an undefeated record, trying to hold that up for the rest of the season.
And the third way of restarting, in addition to scrums and lineouts, is the kick after a try. So this is a drop kick. The ball has to touch the ground before the kick is made. It's not a punt. It has to go 10 meters. If it doesn't go 10 meters, then the receiving team gets a choice of scrum or re-kick.
Yep, and the team that scored will get the ball back. Unlike in football, where if you score, you kick to the other team. So in rugby, you get the advantage. When you score, you get the ball again. Good running here by Bullard. They're maintaining possession. Nice deep kick out to their backs.
Oh, there's a
good
beautiful
run.
run.
Good break by their inside center, or outside center. Inside center. Number 12
A center
for Bullard. Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes. Penalty against Bullard for,
I think, running into his own man. Or not releasing, actually.
not releasing, maybe that's that signal is. So this will be a penalty. They can tap and go, or they can kick for what they'll call kick for touch, which means he's going to kick it past the sidelines, and it will be Bullard or Clovis High's ball
For a line out.
across the line, yeah, on maybe a line out, and they'll have the throw in. So again, it's going to go right down that white line that Dan, the referee, is marking with his foot,
So-
5 meters in from the touch line.
Mika's coming in. Looks like they've got a substitution for Bullard, number 16.
Number 16.
Mika Kruse. He's been playing rugby for, I think, 3 or 4 years for the Bullard Club. Started under 12s, and I think he's a sophomore now. In a line out, the backs have to be 10 yards back from the line.
So Clovis High has the ball. They won their line out.
Great defense. They came up fast.
Yep. Resetting there by that center from Clovis. Little disorganized there on their plays, but still maintaining possession. Got to get rid of it, push it back there. He's got to release it though.
They're getting a penalty.
Yep. I don't know what
I think coming from this, diving over.
Diving over.
So you have to keep your feet in rugby. As I said earlier, you cannot play this game on the ground. Safety as well as fairness rules.
So penalty to Clovis here, and they're going to tap
Come
and
weak
run
side.
with their big guys. Number 1, who's one of their props, setting the ball. I don't know if he got it back or not. Looks like he didn't have very good body position. That was stolen there by Bullard, so he didn't set it like he wanted to. It looks like he got kind of tied up in that tackle. Pick and go by Bullard, number 1 there. Ball's out, going back to the back. So we got a kick here by their fly half who just came in. Took a little bounce to the sidelines there. Took a bad bounce, but they gained
ground there.
about 20 yards, 20 meters, and it'll be Clovis's throw in at another line out here. So, and again in a line out, the team that has the ball can put up to 7 players in a line out. They can put less, they can put 4 if they want, and the other team must mark the number of players that they put in. They cannot have more. They can have less, but they cannot have more than the number of players on the other team that's throwing in the ball. So
You see the throw to number 2, and quickly tackled by Bullard. Great defense by Bullard. They're very fast on the ball. And number
it's
7
stolen, yep.
it, and what a
another
dish.
nice offload to number
Wow.
3. Same, about the same play they made the last time. So that number 3 was good support player there. That's Andrew Arbalo for Bullard. And number 7 is that Joshua Gutierrez who scored the first try. Good, strong, hard runner. Nice pass out to the backs. Fly half got it to 13.
Oh, and past the
Good
fullback.
to the fullback.
And
Oh, the wing
11.
should score in the corner. Maybe he's across the try line. There's the try.
Carlo.
Oh,
Did he get it?
forward pass called by the referee.
Got unlucky.
Yep, too bad. Good.
Some nice teamwork there. You saw several Bullard players handle the ball and move the ball out of tackles. It was very impressive.
Yeah, definitely. Again, I think just a little bit of the narrow field here kind of limits your space you can run there. So, but they're making do with what they can, and that was a good effort. But looked like got a little thrown forward there. So it'll be scrum to Clovis High on about the 5-meter line. So they don't have much room to mess around back there. They ideally would probably look for a deep kick here, but we'll see what happens.
So they pack down, and the scrum half puts the ball in. Not straight. So we've been playing here. We have six league teams now in Fresno for high school. It's been extremely successful over the last 3 or 4 years. The growth and the number of players that have been coming out to it. It's really taken off.
Yeah, and Rob here is heavily involved in the youth rugby. We'll get a chance to talk about that a little bit as we go along, but Rob's been coaching some of the youngsters.
Yeah, they love it.
That's what we like to see. So they tried to get a kick. They got a kick off. Wasn't a deep one. Dropped it. It went backwards. So Clovis recovered it. But again, that ball's live, so it's not going to just die there. It's going to. He's going to try to give. He gave a penalty to Clovis, so it's against Bullard, I think, for not rolling away. Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of laid on top of the player there. He's going to talk to him, tell him to roll away next time, and I think that's what he did. So it'll be a. It's like Clovis is getting ready to just, they're going to tap it and give it to their forwards and try to gain some ground here and maintain possession.
That rule not rolling away goes back to the what I was saying earlier about playing the ball quickly. It slows the game down. We don't want to slow the game down. So.
Yep. Some good run there. Big guy for number 8.
Oh, nice counter ruck. Wow, well done. Oh.
Penalty again, though. I think he's going to call him for
leaving his feet, or?
I'm not sure. He's going to look at somebody here.
Maybe it was intent.
Sometimes hard to see, and again, the referee has signals that we might miss and he may not give sometimes, but he knows what he's doing, so we'll just go with it.
Yeah, and that's another point to make. In rugby, there are laws, and laws, as you probably know, are open to interpretation. So,
knock on here. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, you were saying about the. Sorry about that.
I was saying so the laws aren't necessarily hard and fast, all of them, and the referee has the opportunity to interpret them, which is one of the reasons you get to hear them speaking to the players during the game. It's not always black and white.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a lot of judgment calls out there. One thing that probably the most impressive thing I ever did when, in fact, Rob and I were. When we went to Wales in 2008 with some of the Fresno Rugby players and played some games there, we watched an international match, and I rented the referees. You could listen to the referee during the game. That was probably one of the most informative things I've ever done in rugby.
That was amazing.
To listen to what goes on out there. So at that high level, that was the international level of rugby in Wales, and just amazing to see how much the referee does and says out there.
Yeah, it really opens up the game too when you're watching it and listening to it. I've never been involved in the sport where that's been such an integral part of it, but it really, I got the opportunity to listen to some of the referee headphones too, and it was really impressive.
Yeah, so we got a penalty against Clovis again. Not sure what happened there, but another great run by the. Is that the number 8 for Bullard?
That's Christian Rivas.
Great run again. He's had several runs here. Thought he might finish that one off with a try, but didn't have anybody with him. A lot of speed for a big guy there, so that's what you love to see. He's right there, ready to go again. He's got the ball again. He's not going to stop till he scores, I think, is what he wants.
One of the great things about rugby, especially if you're a bigger guy, I played a lot of football in my high school time, but big guy, everybody gets to put care of the ball here. Everybody gets the opportunity to score. Everybody has to be able to tackle. And most of the guys get to kick too, so it's a true all-around kind of game. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, rugby. So you big guys out there that are thinking rugby's not for you, you'll get to touch the ball, run with the ball. Maybe not kick it. We don't like those big guys kicking the ball.
Depends on how good they are.
Yeah, you never know. But no, yeah, definitely rugby is great for every size, type of player, body structure that there is.
Well, that's actually, we had, as Barry was saying, I coached under 12s and 10s and 14s this year, and under 12 team had the entire starting offensive line for Gibson playing in the on the team.
All right.
I talked to their football coach, he loved it.
Oh yeah.
It's great for the kids. They get to run, they get fit, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh, I think at every level, a rugby player a football player playing rugby at the high school level would benefit. Would be a huge benefit to the football team. That's what we've noticed. I mean, rugby is all about fitness, and boy, if you get some of those football guys out there to play rugby, and they'll come back in much better shape and being more fit than most other players. You know, their eye-hand coordination, being able to play that ball and touch the ball and run with the ball, just all around makes them better players.
Yeah,
so we got a conversion kick by Bullard, so we've got a score of 14-0 with about 12 minutes to go. And Clovis is going to kick off here since they were scored on.
So you'll see their forwards are to the right, so he's going to kick to his right, hoping his forwards will get there and make the tackle. A big collision there.
Yep, big hard tackle. Bullard picking up the ball from the.
So there's the referee blew the whistle. There's a Clovis High player down, and for safety reasons, he wanted to make sure that they didn't run into him.
He's going to take a look at him. Have the trainer come onto the field.
So typically in rugby, if there is an injury or if someone gets winded, I suppose, during the match, that you don't stop and stop the game for them. In high school, it's a little different, but you continue to play without them, which is an interesting way of. It's an unusual for most sports. They don't do that, but it's just part of what we do.
The one thing that the big controversy, or that's the big thing right now, and especially in football, is the concussion issues. And the one thing that I can say about rugby being involved in it for many years now, that they were way ahead of the game, I think, on dealing with concussions. That for years, several years now, that we've had protocols for what to do if there's a concussion and how to deal with it, and they're very, very cognizant of that injury, especially. So
our coaches are certified by USA Rugby, and part of the certification process is a concussion protocol, I guess, module that you have to take, and so even down to the youth level, we're all certified, and it's a requirement in order to be one of the coaches here. It's a very organized USA Rugby, and how rugby across the country is managed. Even if you may not have heard it before, it's amazingly well run and organized.
Yeah, and you can see that there's no pads in rugby. There's you see one player for Clovis wearing what they call a headgear. It's a little bit of a protective. It's probably more so for his ears almost.
Right.
It's about a 1/4 inch of foam, so it doesn't protect him against his concussions or anything like that. And in rugby, one thing that the coaches are trained is to teach the different style of tackling. Is you don't use your head, you don't use your neck, you use your shoulders and your arms to wrap around the player, and you don't go head to head, you don't go head to body. It's always shoulder or arm. So
yeah, the tackles are really more like wrestling. It's like a double leg takedown. It's physically exhausting to hit somebody like they do in football without pads.
Yeah. We were talking earlier with Paul Carter, he was helping the announcing earlier, and he was a wrestler, and we commented about how wrestlers do make great rugby players, and the forwards sometimes are just like right now, they're literally wrestling in that ruck or maul to get that ball away from the other team. So you use a lot of energy wrestling and tackling players out there.
Yeah, it's a lot about leverage and body position and core strength.
So Clovis High is doing a great job of keeping Bullard pinned back here. Let's see if they can
very good hand
get the ball out. Yeah.
Yeah, Clovis has a relentless defense. They really do. They restructure their defense quickly after a tackle.
Yeah, we see their backs here covering the field well. Penalty against Bullard.
Yeah, they earned, with all that defense, they earned a penalty. They earned the ball right there, which is, it's nice to see that rewarded.
Not sure what that might have been, hands in there. I'm not sure. Here comes the good run by the good guys running together there.
Straighten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, there's a wrestling match to the try line.
Yeah. So
nice placement.
Yep, very good.
Quick ball, run straight.
I thought he broke through there for a second. Almost. We're going to reset. Get it out to their number one. He's close. He might be over. There's a try.
He scored, yeah.
Try for Clovis. Good job, Clovis. So that makes the score 5-14 with 8 minutes to go.
And the PAT to come. Thanks.
Here's. So this will be a kick for 2 points. Let's see the replay here.
Replay got cut off. Back to line.
This looks like the inside center for Clovis is the kicker, number 12.
Take your choice.
Omar.
Three 12s in there.
On, and the kick was good, so we got 14-7 in favor of Bullard with 7 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the first half here at Roosevelt High School on Friday night high school rugby here in Fresno, California.
There are one of the Bullard players being helped off the field.
Okay, so
as I said, there's a restart. Clovis High needs to be 10 meters back from the midfield line there, and the kick needs to go at least 10 meters.
So that looked like a good kick there, yep. That'll make it 10. Looks like it's going to go out of bounds, though, so it'll be Clovis High's ball there and a line out.
One thing you don't want to do when the ball's in the air, on whether you're kicking or receiving, is let it bounce.
Yeah.
If you see the shape of the ball, it's like an egg.
Coaches,
it can bounce any direction, so you definitely want to catch that ball on the fly.
Coaches don't like to see that on kickoffs. They like the players to catch those and run them forward. Don't let them bounce. The throw in here for...
That's clean.
Clean.
Oh, yeah.
So
offside.
Offside, yeah. I could see number 7 offsides, and I think the referee obviously did too. So he's going to call it right now.
He's a little over anxious getting out there and getting to the back.
So
in a line out, you can't, if you're a forward up, and you got 10 more for speaking, you can't talk back to the ref.
Said something to him.
So in a line out, you can't, the forwards who are in the line out can't go across the line until the ball's moved 1 meter in a forward or backward direction, typically a forward direction, I suppose.
Yep. So another penalty against Bullard. And we see the referee reaching, so he's going to call him something. I think he's a little... I don't know who it's going to be against, but this generally means...
We just get him a warning, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
At least so far.
Oh, there it is. Yellow card for the prop number 1. That's, I'm not sure which number 1 that is.
Christopher Silva.
Okay. Didn't see what he did. I don't know what it was, but he might give us a signal here and let us know.
So yellow card is 10 minutes in what they call the sin bin. So it's 5 minutes left in the half, so he'll spend the rest of this half and the first 5 minutes of the next half off the field. He'll be allowed to come back in, but just as in soccer, if you get 2 yellow cards in a match, it's a red card. You're excluded from the remainder of the match, and your team has to play 1 person down.
Yeah, so they're going to play short now for the next 10 minutes, which is an advantage to Clovis, obviously. And we'll see what they could do here with the next 10 minutes. 5 minutes and a half, 4 minutes now and 40 seconds, and well, the refs probably actually stopped. The referee controls the actual game time. The clock that you see on the scoreboard there is just a running clock. But the Clovis High will looks like he's going to kick for touch. That'll put him downfield a little ways if he makes it out of bounds. And it looks like he did. So it'll be their line out when there's a penalty and you kick for touch or kick it out of bounds like that. You regain possession where it crossed that touch line, and it will be your ball at the throw in. So Clovis High will try here again. We've got 6 teams currently in the conference, they call it here, of Central California, and I know they're looking to maybe expand next year to a couple more. So
yeah, I think 2, possibly 3. There may be a team down in Tulare. Some of their youth players.
Yeah, the youth guys are playing. Yeah.
I don't think it went 5.
I don't think that was quite. Yeah, maybe not that time. Got away with it the first time, or it was a good play, but this time it didn't quite go far enough. So it'll be Bullard's. This is an indirect kick, which they're going to just tap and go with it and pass it out. So
Josh was running.
Yep. Yeah, that was. I guess he's letting that go. So again, that's referee judgment there that it wasn't tackled.
Yeah, but it wasn't held down again.
Wasn't held down.
Rugby actually be wrapped up and taken to the ground, which is one of the safety. One of the things that makes it safer than football tackles is you have to wrap.
Yeah, well, good
Mika with a huge run.
Good run for the fly half there. Looks like he's going to score a try. He slips and falls over the try line. It's a score for Bullard.
Just like that. It's a very
so
fast
another
attack.
5 points for Bullard. That makes it 19-7 at the moment.
So that's unfortunate for Clovis High. They had some good momentum going with a penalty in the line out.
And to be have Bullard down a man and score, that's impressive for
true.
Bullard. So unfortunate for Clovis High, but
we're going to replay
great
that.
for Bullard. There's a nice run.
So
Look at
there's
him.
Mika Crusade running. He's a very dynamic player. He really has a good feel for the game.
And only a sophomore in high school, so a lot of good plays to come from him. Looks like he's going to make the kick as well. Attempt to kick. Probably wishes now he'd made it to the center a little more, but that's all right. In rugby, the conversion kick comes straight out from where the ball was touched in the try zone. So that's where he went across the line and touched it down. So that's where the penalty kick will come out straight out from. Or not the penalty kick, the point after kick. And that was a high, and it made it. So
he can pull it out as far as he'd like. He doesn't have to kick it from any specific distance, but he does have to be parallel to the sideline.
So 21-7 with 2 minutes to play. Maybe a little more. I think the ref might have had some time off the clock, added some time to the clock there for that yellow card. But no, he's saying 2 minutes. So he's pretty close here to what you got on the clock there. Kicking off.
It's getting a little cooler out here than I expected it, Barry.
Yeah. Sorry.
I should have brought gloves.
We're not in a booth. We're sitting out at a table at the 50-yard line.
Right.
At
the best view of the house.
So, yeah. Some quick passing out to the.
Oh, nice pass out of the tackle. Bullard does that he's been doing that real well tonight.
Yeah.
You see, this is about the 4th phase here, so.
There
back
we go
to Mika
again. Yep. Gaining some good ground here.
So I think it's the 6th or 7th phase. They got an advantage. They're see the ref with his arm out.
Yep. Yeah, so he's going to blow the whistle. Coming in from the side, looks like. One of the Clovis players.
With about a little over a minute left, probably going to kick the touch and look to get a line out near the line. And the breeze is going to help him out there, I think.
Yeah, that's a good one, though. That'll put him down about 5 meters out, 6 meters, looks like, from here.
So you can see the guy with the blue jacket and the flag there. He's the touch judge. He'll raise the flag where the ball goes out of bounds, or somewhere near there.
Yep. And that's where the throw-in will take place. It's Bullard's ball. Let's see what they do here. If they're gonna bring it down and pound it forward.
Oh, nice! Another nice save by Joshua. Oh, and he takes
There's a try scored.
That's some great camera work there. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was impressive. It was a nice angle on the camera. You can really see how hard he's working there and how athletic he is.
Yeah, great run, right hard up to the middle and touched it down. In rugby, that's all you had to do. That was a downward motion. You had control of the ball. That's a try over that try line.
And so in a
conversion
football,
kick is good.
In football, the word touchdown comes from that exact motion. If the evolution of American football is rugby comes from soccer and American football comes from rugby. And in American football, you used to have to touch the ball down also.
So it looks like I don't know if the ref's going to let him kick off, maybe. So again, he's got the official time. Looks like he's going to let him go. 15 players on each side.
14 on Bullard.
Well,
for now.
14, yeah, 14 for Bullard. Normally we start with 15. Penalty against Bullard. And we may be stopping for an injury here. Trainer's going to run out and take a look at him. So yeah, so next year we're thinking, I've heard that they're talking about Close North maybe trying to get a team together and join this conference. Sunnyside was the other one, I think.
Yeah, those are two I've heard also.
Yeah, so.
Right now there are players from each of those schools playing for other high schools, and that's the way it works in our league. If your high school doesn't have a team, then you're allowed to play for one of the other teams, schools that does. It helps to develop the players that way. You've had very careful and I guess considered growth in the high school levels here. We made sure we have good coaching at each school and have a good infrastructure in place before the league expands too much. You want to make sure that they don't expand too quickly.
Yeah, most of the current coaches are all former rugby players from here in the Valley or Fresno or other places, but they're very experienced for the most part. They played for many years, and they generally know what they're doing, what they're talking about, and coaching these guys. So looking forward to seeing how the league builds and grows in the future, especially with all the youth kids that are playing as they kind of come up through the ranks. That just makes the rugby that much better and that much more competitive and that much more fun to watch and to see. Yeah,
we're just starting to get to the point where the kids who played in the youth programs are now probably next year or two going to start hitting the high school levels, and it should raise the level, or the level of experience at least.
Yeah, we've already seen it. I'm involved a little bit with the Fresno State Rugby Club programs, and we've seen players from the high school level that are graduating from high school now playing for Fresno State. We have several, I'd say 3 or 4 this season alone that are playing, and that'll just continue to grow.
That's great.
And we already see the advanced level of rugby that it brings to the team. So we're seeing some sloppy play out here, looks like, but little knock-on, so that's going to be halftime. With the halftime score 28-7 in favor of Bullard.
It's a hard-hitting half. I thought that Bullard kept a lot of pressure on, and were able to convert some of those to tries, but Clovis had some good defense.
All right, so that's halftime. We'll be back shortly.
All right,
we're on. So here we are, second half of the
Bullard
and Clovis Friday night rugby high school game here in Roosevelt High School. Nice field, beautiful grass field that they've redone here recently. So kicking off, the score right now, 28 for Bullard and 7 for Clovis. 35 minutes of rugby to go. Dan Wilson's our referee. They've switched sides. Clovis is going to kick to Bullard to start the half. Here we go.
35 minutes?
35 minutes,
and
yeah.
The first 5 minutes will be without. Bullard should be man down, right?
Yeah, they still got 5 minutes left on that yellow card. Looks like that kick's going to go straight out, so they'll come either re-kick or they'll scrum center here, and Bullard has chosen to scrum center. The temperature has dropped dramatically here. Rob and I are both freezing. We didn't expect it to be so cold.
It's a lovely spring evening here in Fresno.
And Rob was nice enough to come right from work, so he's wearing a nice suit and tie. Well, he took a tie off, but neither of us are dressed very well for cold as it is. But
rugby is a winter game.
Yeah, you know, play rugby, rain or shine, winter, snow, sleet, hail, kind of like the post office, I guess. We still play rugby.
That's right.
So scrum center here, the kick went out of bounds on the kickoff, so the defending team has the option of kick again or scrum, so they've chosen to scrum.
You'll see that the Bullards in the light blue. You can see that they're a man down in the forwards.
Yep.
And they have to match. It looks like
he's making the adjustment there now. He had somebody step off, so they're going to switch things around.
And again, this is one of the ways of restarting.
Yeah, scrum in rugby is one way to restart. The line out is another way.
And the kickoff.
Kickoff is the other way. So
Clovis has some great low body position you can see there.
Yep.
The scrum half picks it up.
Pass. Good dummy there by this fly half from Bullard. Look at that. Snuck through. They didn't tackle him. He snuck through. He's still going to go. He might.
Oh, nice dummy there, too.
Oh.
Unlucky. He dropped the ball, knocked it forward. So.
Yeah, I think somebody got a hand on it, I think, quickly there. But, yeah, too bad. He made a great run.
Clovis scrambled for defense pretty well there, though, too. It looked like he was away to me, and then they caught up on Clovis was able to catch him, make him force a turnover. Yep, so we're going to have a restart again. This will be a scrum, this time to Clovis. And there, looks like they're about 7 or 8 meters out from the try line. And they're going to put it in. We'll see if they've been running it out, but we'll see if they kick it this time. They're pretty deep. Can't tell which way the wind's blowing. It's kind of at our back, so I think it's kind of across the field. Yeah, big in rugby, possession is critical, but also field position. You don't want to play the game in your own half. You really want to get it out near midfield if possible. So we'll see, as Barry said, we'll see if they decide to kick. For those of you interested in finding out a little bit more about rugby in the Valley, the youth and high school, you can go to the Central California Rugbyfoundation.com. That website has our schedule, has just a lot of information about rugby in Fresno and Clovis areas. Yeah, all levels of rugby are on there. I think the high school, the junior highs, or the under 14s, 12s, and 10s. The youth rugby guys are on there, and there's even the girls. Yep. Rugby. So again, it's centralcaliforniarugbyfoundation.com. Looks like, not sure what happened there, but I think it went out the side of the tunnel. Must have come out, and the number 7 there didn't. So it went in the scrum when the team putting the ball in the middle puts it in, it has to come out the back of the scrum. It can't go back out the tunnel or out the side. Yeah, the tunnel's that side portion area of the scrum on both sides. And I see Dan watching closely, the referee. That looks like there's a contested ball there, but Clovis got it back. There we go, and they are going to kick it. Oh, didn't find touch, so Bullard has a chance to counterattack here. Fullback, nice run. very nice pickup there.
Good counter almost. Yep. So didn't release the ball. Looks like the.
Bullard's got a penalty.
Oh no, I guess.
I think.
Maybe you didn't give him a chance to place the ball.
So.
Is that what he's going to call?
I think so.
So yeah. So there was. So it's a kind of a tough call there. I mean, it's a tricky. You know, in rugby, you got to release the ball, but also the player has to be given a second or a chance to release the ball. So it's a tough call sometimes by the refs. So I'm not sure what.
So the penalty here, when you have a penalty, you have an opportunity. Either you have a choice to kick for a line out for your own throw in, or tap and go real quickly, or you can actually kick for points here. It looks like they're not going to go for points. The points in rugby, a penalty goal would be worth 3 points, like a field goal in football. The fly half's taking it himself.
Didn't think he was going to
short of the line.
Didn't think he was going to pass
nice
it. Looks like another jump and dive. There's a try by Bullard. Again, that was the.
That was Joshua. I think, the flanker.
Yep.
I think he's their captain too for Bullard.
He's been running strong tonight.
Joshua Gutierrez. Yeah, he's a very strong runner. He's been all over the field really. On offense and defense, it's very impressive.
Yeah, he's a good kid. I've met him a couple times when I ref the games. He's one of the few times, and it's a great thing to say about a player, I think, that when I was reffing him, he was actually mentioning how the other team was cussing a lot. So you don't hear that a lot from a player, and I was very nice to hear that, and I made a point to tell the other team to stop the language. So good kid there all around, good hard runner, good athlete.
Yeah, it looks like Mika Crusade's taking the point after again. One of the programs we have here for the Central California Rugby Foundation is an opportunity for a graduating senior to go to New Zealand for a year. It's a program that's been in existence for 3 or 4 years now. And this year, Drew Abaro from Bullard is the recipient of that selection. And it's a really neat program. The kids go over to it's the biggest charity, I guess, in New Zealand. It's actually a private school or a private school, but all the kids have all their tuition paid, and our youth or our high school senior gets to go over there and sort of be a schoolmaster for the New Zealanders.
Is that the program that Julian Kwan went, the first one?
Yeah,
the first one to go? And
that's exactly right.
Someone else's.
It's a very prestigious thing. Oh, a nice ball move by Clovis.
Yeah.
That good pass that tackle.
Nice cut back. Good run.
Now Bullard swarming. If Clovis got there to ruck, they were able to retain possession by getting there quickly.
Yeah, the referee's got his hand out, so it was a penalty earlier, so he's going to come back, call it back. It'll be Clovis's ball here. Bullard was offsides. Nice quick and go with the players. Got back quick. Outside, go to the wing. Not a lot of help out here, but he's got a few players. Picks it up. Number one. Prop. Oh, they got him out of bounds, I think, though.
No, I think they're continuing. Yeah, it was close.
The touch judgment didn't call him out, so play on. Again, there's another
advantage called.
Another advantage called to Clovis, and again, they'll bring it back. It'll be Clovis's ball.
They should take a quick tap.
Yep. If they get organized, get their guys there quickly, they should just tap and go. Let's see what happens. Well, they're going to choose to reset.
Setting up a penalty play.
Yep, set up a penalty play and drive it and go. Give to the big number one.
Offside again. Joshua has played a great game. He came up a little early that time.
There he is again.
He had thought that the ball had been tapped, but it was not. You have to remain 10 meters behind the penalty if you're a defensive team until the ball's tapped. You'll see number 9 has the ball for Clovis. He'll tap it. The ball has to leave his hands. He can't just touch his foot. Not just to leave his hand. And the defensive team can't come off their line until that happens.
Yeah, normally it'd be 10 meters back, but now they're right on the goal line, so that if it's less than 10 meters, that goal line is the mark. So not that far back. They're maintaining possession, though. Clovis is. Another penalty against Bullard.
If Bullard's not careful, they may.
There's a try. They scored a try that time. Clovis scores. Didn't see who. Let's see. That's number. We'll catch him here in a second.
Bit of a shadow there.
Number 23. I don't know if we have that number on there, do we?
I don't see
him. So looks like he's playing prop probably, though. He's a big kid, big guy. Nice score there. Nice try.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier in the first half that rugby, or American football, is a direct descendant of rugby, and you talk to a lot of the coaches up north, the football coaches especially, up in some of the bigger programs, and they really like their football players playing rugby in the off season for a variety of reasons. Fitness is certainly one of them, but another one is defensively. Rugby is all one-on-one tackles. It really makes you an excellent tackler in space. Because that's what happens in rugby, and some of the bigger programs like the La Salle up north have a lot of their football players playing rugby in the off season, and I think Jesuit is also another one.
Yeah, those are big powerhouses up in the youth high school rugby in Northern California. Some really good rugby comes out of there. Some really great players. So we're off and running here again. We had Clovis made the conversion after their try, so the score is now 35-14. Bullard kicked off, but unfortunately, some mishandling there by Clovis. It looks like it's going to be Bullard's scrum way down about on the 5-meter line for them.
It's a dangerous place to be defending your own line in a scrum. Bullard's pretty effective on offense, so they're going to put it in here about 5 meters away, as Barry said, and it's a good chance that big number 8 is going to pick up and run tight and see if he can score. But you can see, if you can't really see on the camera, but the offensive backs for Bullard are very steep, so that they're running onto the ball at full pace if the ball comes out to them, and they catch it and they get a pass. It's kind of tunnel. Oh, and to talk a little bit more about the New Zealand trip that the foundation has, it's an opportunity for the kids to go for a year. That they're sort of headmasters at this school, and they actually get room and board. And the Garabedian Foundation is a big supporter of rugby here, and they help with the flight typically. And so it's a really neat experience. I mean, they work with kids from all throughout other countries in the world, and have a great opportunity to learn different culture and experience wonderful things.
Is it for the whole school year? Are they down there, Rob?
I think they have an option to either go for a half year, July for 6 months, or July to July.
Yeah, it sounds like a great program. I know Julian really enjoyed it and kind of was the first to go there. So we've had a few players from Fresno spend time down in New Zealand. I know we've had a player when I was playing that now lives there and is married to a girl from New Zealand, so he's never come back.
He's staying.
He was a good rugby player and enjoyed it down there.
He's good enough to meet us in Wales, though.
Yeah. And we've had some New Zealand players come here and play for us. Some great players that have played all their lives in New Zealand and came here and had a good time with us, and us with them. They were very good players.
Yeah, that is their sport. So we have a line out there.
Yeah, a nice straight throw in, but it got batted away. Looks like it's going to be knocked on by Clovis, so it'll be Bullard's scrum. Looks like they've chosen to scrum. So the scrum will be on the 15-meter line in from the touch line, from where that line out was last held. And I think they must be back to full strength by now. I assume they are, so I didn't notice that, but back to 15 players.
So if Bullard's in a really good very good attacking position here with toward the middle of the field. Their backs are very steep and deep, so they're going to look to move the ball wide at some point. They may start out with a tight run, but I think they want to use their backs if they can.
I don't think I've ever seen a back line quite so deep.
They're
from the 50 all the way to the try line, so it is a short field, but that's a bit.
They've lost it, so Bullard's lost it. Clovis did a great job of stealing that ball in the line in the scrum. All right, some great counter-rucking by Joshua. He's just a real strong kid.
Yeah, I think he's about to get penalized again, though, if he puts his hands in there. He was trying to, but...
he's on his feet, and he came through the gate, so it was a clean rut. And now they're able to counterattack, Bullard is, with their backs. Good ball movement. I think the width, the narrowness of the field is making it a little harder.
Definitely kind of changing the outcome of the game a little bit here, or the style of play that's affecting it a little bit.
Oh, good fast defense on Clovis's part.
Yeah, great tackling here.
You'll see the tackles look like look hard, and they're just very solid. There's no head contact, shoulder to shoulder, as we were saying in the first half. Oh, nice pickup.
Yeah, the one thing is the good rugby, you're not out there trying to hurt the players. You're trying to get the ball and you're trying to maintain the ball. So going in as hard as you can and trying to hurt someone usually ends up hurting yourself.
Yeah,
so in rugby,
it's
you got to keep doing it over and over and over again. So it's, you know, you don't get a rest. And, you know, not anything against football, but once a football player sometimes makes a hard hit, he comes out of the game, or he makes a long run, he comes out of the game.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen here in rugby. You gotta keep playing, and you don't want to injure people. We don't want injuries out here.
That's right.
You usually end up hurting yourself sometimes. I've done that myself, tackling the wrong way and hurting myself. But
yeah, that's another good point, actually. It's so in rugby, you pay in higher level or older level, you pay 2 40-minute halves. I think in high school we're 2 35-minute halves, and you don't come out. There are no substitutions. If you come, other than for a blood substitution, if you're injured or you're too tired to continue, you do not go back into the game.
Yeah. And you know, just the sport of rugby is changed considerably over the years. I mean, I've not been around. I've been around for a few years and played it a while, but it has you know, I would say the reputation is changing quite a bit. It's become much more of a finesse game. It's not a
there's a penalty to Bullard, or against Bullard, I should say.
Against Bullard. Didn't give him a chance, I think, that time to release the
Right.
ball. But I started to say that, you know, people think that it's a brutal fighting game. I mean, you won't see punches thrown, you know, where there's an all-out brawl or anything like that. It just doesn't happen in rugby anymore. I mean, there was times when that happened quite a bit, but, you know, it's controlled now much more strictly than it was. You know, the referee gets the utmost respect from all the players, or they just won't play. He'll kick them out of the game if he has to, if they're mouthing off, or
heads up.
if someone's fighting. It just doesn't go on. And
yeah, well, no, I played soccer as a kid for a long time, but the old saying is soccer is the gentleman's sport played by hooligans, and rugby is the hooligan sport played by gentlemen.
Yeah, definitely. And rugby crowd. I've been, you know, and Rob's been there as well. We've been to international matches in Wales and in England, and the crowds are great.
Yeah.
But at rugby games, soccer games, you know, you see it on the news all the time, trouble and fights and rioting, but not in rugby matches. So.
Yeah, and actually, rugby is going to be an Olympic sport again in 2016. That's the rugby community is really looking forward to that. It's exciting, actually. It's being reintroduced. It's been an Olympic sport twice, and believe it or not, the United States is the defending gold medal champion.
Yeah,
won the last two in 1920 and 24, with primarily players from Northern California, actually from the University of California and Stanford and
Right.
Olympic Club, and we're probably, you know, we're long odds to retain that.
Yeah.
but it's a little fact that most people in America don't realize.
Yeah, no, definitely. And a little tidbit of fact I just learned the other day was that those teams from 1920 and 24 are in the Rugby Hall of Fame in England, I think is where it is. I was just reading about that. So, but yeah, it will be in the Olympics in 2016 in Rio de Janeiro in the little different form. It's 7-a-side rugby. This is 15s out here. 7-a-side is a very fast-paced, very active running game. Short halves of 7 minutes each half, 14 minutes a game. So little different kind of rugby on the same size field. So it's exciting rugby. Very fast-paced and fast runners and fast players, and still hard tackles and hard hits, but a little bit different game.
Clovis is really threatening here.
Yes.
Bullard's having a few repeated penalties.
Penalties again, yep.
And we'll see if that.
See if they can capitalize and bring it within a couple of tries here. They got about 17 minutes to go, so plenty of time to score.
The referee has some discretion here
tries.
too. If there's multiple penalties near the goal line, it slows the game down. As I mentioned earlier, that's something. He yellow carded.
He yellow carded Joshua this time. So one of their key players. Not sure. We did see him come off sides quite a few times. So maybe he's just getting a little anxious, and the referee's finally saying enough is enough. So go take 10 minutes and think about it, is what he's telling the player. So he'll be back in with about 7 minutes to go.
So,
but yeah,
Clovis
definitely
has a great opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. Clovis has got they're about a couple meters out.
You can see they're running a penalty play. They have the forward split on either side of the scrum half. So the scrum half is going to tap the ball and most likely pass to one of the forward pods and probably, hopefully, recycle the ball quickly.
Yeah, let's see if he runs towards the players or runs away from runs towards the back. I'd run towards the backs if I was a forward right now.
I think they may come left here. No, they went right.
Oh,
That's
nice
a
run.
Nice run.
Nice
Good
run.
angle. So he's in a maul again, which is a maul is when the ball carrier, it's down to a
Now
ruck.
he's down to a ruck, yep. Passed out. Oh, too bad.
You gotta make it hold the ball. I think he threw it away.
Thrown on the referees, giving a...
So to describe the difference between a ruck and a maul is when the ball carrier is tackled, but he keeps his feet and he maintains his feet. You try to drive that. If you're the offensive team, you can still keep going forward, and you have an opportunity to continue to go forward. A ruck is when the tackle, the ball carrier is tackled to the ground and sets the ball. And so those are the two differences. Oh, another yellow card. This time it's to the winger, I believe. I think he's a substitute winger. So now Clovis is 2 men up. This is an opportunity to really make a statement, and you want to score a couple times here if you can. And so it's similar to the last, maybe 5 meters from the goal line. The scrum half will take a tap, and you can see there's two pods of forwards again set up.
Yeah, you don't see this very often. Not very often do 2 yellow cards get issued so back to back like that. So we're still a little unclear on what that second one was for, but we'll speculate and probably say it might have been a high tackle or something there on that last play. But definitely, they're only a couple meters out. It's their ball, Clovis's ball. See what he can. He'd almost be smart to just tap it and
turn around
and score. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
They'll run right by him.
Yeah, they wouldn't be looking for him.
Oh well, they were looking for him there.
Nice, there you go. Yeah.
So
he's close, and there's a try for Clovis with 14, almost 15 minutes to go. So a little excitement on the sidelines from the fans. They know they're getting some momentum going. They got 10 minutes to do it with 2 players down by Bullard.
35-19 is the score, is that right?
Yeah, right now we're 35-19 with a chance for 2 more.
I'd like to thank our scorekeeper, Louis Crusay, one of the kids I coached this year. Great player.
All right. How old is he?
I believe Louis is 8.
Where's he go to school?
I get 1 more year coaching him at under 10. It's pretty amazing.
Okay. And we got a conversion here coming. It's good. Yep. He's been 3 for 3 so far, that player. So we got 21-35 in favor of Bullards going into with about 15 minutes to play.
Yeah. Replay of the kick.
Yep. The wind's kicking up again.
Yeah, it is.
Chilly. I think the what's it called? The wind chill factor is probably.
Well, it's not the Midwest or the East Coast.
Yeah, it's not there. We can't complain. There's no what's the Arctic vortex hasn't quite come down. But I guess it's Fresno's version of a vortex.
It's down to 60.
Yeah. So here we go, kicking off again. Clovis is ready.
He kicks away from his forwards. That's a strategy you want to take sometimes.
So actually not a bad play if it goes out of the back. Oh, he didn't.
Throwing it around there.
Oh. So we'll see.
There's a whistle.
Yeah, if it had gone out the back, it would have come back to the kickoff spot, the 50, and it would have been Clovis's ball there. But it looks like it's going to be maybe a 22 dropout, or we can tell how far back they're coming here.
Sometimes, as the offensive team, you'll want to kick deep to their backs because a lot of times the receiving team will then kick it back out of bounds or kick it back to you.
Yeah.
You have some advantage there.
So it looks like the ball was probably touched down in the try zone there, and Clovis is going to use what they call a 22-meter drop out or drop kick. So it has to be kicked behind that 22-meter mark, and it has to be a drop kick. Can go anywhere, direction, however far he wants.
There's a lot of space behind the forwards here, so.
Yeah, so there he made a nice deep kick.
So Bullard looked to counterattack here with a fly half. And the sideways, very elusive runner. Nice pass. Good hands by the forwards.
Nice straight arm there. Yeah, nice tackling though. Wow.
That's good.
They held him up.
Oh, he knocked it on him. It looks like they've got an advantage for Bullard. Coming from, I believe it's coming from the side. You have to come from directly from where the ball's well, directly through the gate, as they call it. So the defending team, when there's a tackle made, has to come straight through where the person who's carrying the ball is lying. Very hard to describe that.
Yeah, it is tough. It's hard to. There's so many rules in rugby that they do take a long time to figure them all out. So if you're confused out there, don't worry, you're not the only ones.
Yes.
It took us years to figure them out ourselves. So we had a attempted kick for touch by Bullard, and he missed, didn't get it out of bounds, and Clovis has got the ball and
aggressive tackle.
Trying to get some space and get some momentum going. Again, they're still up by 2 players.
Is that a kick?
Oh, there's some tackling going on out there. Might be a penalty coming up here, looks like. Again, the referee, it's his judgment out there on what he sees and what he calls. He gets a lot of running in a game. Knowing Dan Wilson that he will now, he's going to confer with the touch judge and ask him what he saw, which is common to get his opinion since he may not have had a great view of it. So I'm going to guess it might have been some sort of high tackle is what it looked like from here. So I don't think it was an intentionally high tackle, but we'll see what the call is here. He's reaching for the card again. We'll see. I don't know. So far he's been. And another third yellow card against Bullard.
That's showing some lack of discipline there. You can't leave your teammates with a man 2, or in this case 3 down. That's just you've got to clean it up. A very disciplined side typically, but this is unfortunate. Yeah, and again, this isn't anything to do with a referee making bad calls. He's just conferred with his touch judge, so the judge saw something as well. So it was probably a blatant. Tackle. And sometimes that happens when you're lose control, like Rob said. You got to be disciplined. You got to stick to your game plan and make good tackles and not get a little excited there. So now they're 3 players down with 9 minutes to go. And they're down by 14 points, so that's 2 tries. Very, very doable to score 2 tries in 14 minutes, if not more. Yeah, especially up by 3 men.
With 3 players, so yeah.
So. Yeah, you want to try to use the whole width of the field here, I think, if you're Clovis High, because Bullard's thin or fewer players.
Yep, so smart play. Pass it out to the backs, and they got some space there. Just get going here.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, knock on by Bullard. So playing an advantage right now.
So Clovis is, unfortunately, Clovis player was on his knees trying to play the ball, and you can't do that. You need to maintain your feet. You have to get on your feet in order to play rugby.
So the referee is still playing advantage for Bullard. Now he stopped it. He's going to give it to Bullard. It's a penalty. Clovis needs to get back 10 meters from where the referee has marked the ball. And off they go. Yep.
Big number 5. Oh, it's a bit of a higher tackle.
Oh, kick forward there by the fly half. Oh, kind of confusing around the ball there.
Oh,
nope, didn't get.
I think he touched it down.
He called it. Yep, referee gave it to him.
He got it. So all you need is downward pressure on the ball. You don't have to actually control it in that situation. You just need to put your hand down on the ball.
Wow. So unfortunate, I guess I would say, for Clovis with being up by 3 players, or Bullard down 3 players, and not able to capitalize on that possession. So puts them even further in the hole.
Yeah.
But if they can get something going here, there's still a chance. So we got 42-21 at the moment, with conversion attempt to come.
That's interesting. I think in the first half we spoke of the width kind of being a limiting factor for Bullard. I think the narrowness or the width of the field in this case is disadvantaging Clovis, who could otherwise move the ball wider with their numerical advantage.
Yeah, definitely. So the conversion there was no good. He attempted a drop kick, which is fine and legal, but didn't make it. So Clovis will kick off here.
Bullard's making a few substitutions.
Yeah. They can make substitutions here at the high school level. I don't think there's a limitation on them. At the different levels, club level and above, or college level and above, I should say, you're allowed 7 or sometimes 8 substitutions, maybe 7 for a maximum, and that's for the whole game. So yeah, you can't go beyond that. So kick off by Clovis.
Nice take by Bullard.
I think he knocked it forward there, but ref let it play.
And is that Joshua back in? Looks like he's out of the sin bin.
Must be that was that the first player? The first 2 were pretty close, so we might see another guy coming in here, another player coming in quickly.
Yeah, Clovis gets the ball.
Clovis gets, they're running hard. They're ready to go. They got their backs out here.
And they're set.
Oh, penalty against.
Oh, and then he throws the ball away.
So Clovis's penalty.
See if they can capitalize on this. Looks like the forwards are calling to kick for touch. Again, that would result in a line out if
line out,
find it.
Oh, he decides to tap and go. Here we go.
So Clovis is trying to drive forward off the ball, but Bullard's doing a very good job, I think, of defending off the fringes. Now they're spinning it out to the backs, and that was
a bad pass
bit
there.
An errant pass, yeah.
Good tackle for the fullback there.
Yeah, some good defense play by Bullard. They've moved Clovis back 30 meters, and it looks like there's a knock-on advantage to Bullard. So, but Bullard has possession, so the ref will allow him to continue playing.
Penalty advantage
penalty
now.
now for offsides. Oh, it's a line break, so now the advantage is over. There's Joshua Gutierrez with a big run.
Good tackle.
Nice tackle. He wasn't held, so get up and run again. That was a little bit of a high tackle.
Knock. Oh, try given by
that's really some great dynamic play. That's, rugby, the supporting, you need a support, which is basically if the guy's running with the ball, you need to be with him and running. That's the people who are supporting are the ones that typically end up getting the tries. You can see how many of the Bullard players were there after the big break by Josh. That's how you win games. It's the people that don't have the ball that make the difference in the sport.
Yeah, so key. The support, the following the players, just always there. You watch the best rugby, and that's what they do. They're all the teams are, following right behind them or right to the side of them, and looking for that dish off or pass off. And
now you can see the background of the shot right next. If Buchanan warming up over there, they're going to play Roosevelt in the nightcap this evening.
Yep, and that game will be right after this game. Won't be televised, but
if you come out here live, you get to watch it.
Yeah, or you might catch it on the score on the website tomorrow or the next day. So we got 47-21 in favor of Bullard. Oh, 50. What did I miss?
It's a nice kick.
Nice long kickoff to Josh again.
Probably not the guy you want to kick it to.
Fake the pass and make the run. He's got someone with supporting.
He's looking for support.
There he goes. He's going to score. He's across for a try.
That's very impressive. At this stage of the game, after playing that many minutes of rugby, to be able to run like that is pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is amazing.
He looks like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going.
He does. He's
look at him. It's a nice head-on view there. He shows
nice
the ball.
Fake, cuts back.
Looking for support, though. He's looking to pass the ball, but he says, "I'll just take it myself."
Yeah, and again, he ran straight up the field. He didn't run sideways across the field. That's so important and so key. Shows good experience.
Yeah. And here's Mika to take the point after again.
Made that one.
Bullard's really looking like they're hitting on all cylinders here.
So 55-21 is our current score.
56. Well, there's a discrepancy here.
We'll figure out. Got to do our math here if we got the.
It's been a long time since I've had a math class. That was a short kick.
Knocked
it on. So he's advantage to Clovis. If he's running sideways, the Clovis player, you really want to run straight in rugby. There you go.
54, sorry, 54-21 should be the score. And a couple minutes to play.
So penalty to Bullard again. So
Wow.
been a lot of penalties in this game.
Especially the second half. Seems like more in the second half than the first half. And
Yeah.
might be kicking out. That might be the end of the game right there. That is. That's full time. End of the game. So we have a final score. 54-21 is what I have on my score sheet, but we'll check that with the referee and
Give or take a couple.
see. Yeah. So Bullard clearly dominated here, especially the second half, being down by three players and scoring
yeah.
4 tries, I
Yeah.
think, or 3 tries there at the end. So
Yeah, it's
great
pretty
game.
impressive.
Congratulations to Bullard and keep their perfect record, 9-0, and Clovis
So
drops to 4-5.
I think with that win, actually, Bullard clinches first place in the conference. Which means that they'll be hosting a team from the Sacramento Conference April 19th, I think. But if you go to the website, you'll be able to see all the schedules there. It's Central California Rugby Foundation.com.
Yep. So
I'm Rob Takoyan. Appreciate
I'm very
it.
full. Yeah. Thanks for coming out. And we got Clovis, or who's playing that? Buchanan and Roosevelt are playing the last game. But check the website, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Oh, this is a post-match ritual that Bullard does, and rugby is a very social sport. In case you didn't know, the home team hosts the visiting team to dinner after every match. That's international across all levels. It's a very, very social game.
Take a bell, boys.
So you see the camaraderie out there, players shaking hands, talking to each other, getting to know each other. So they play each other several times a year, and some of them been playing each other for 3, 4, 5 years now. So they've got some good friendships going here.
Yep, and one thing about rugby too is it's played all colleges have a rugby team. So if you want to come up.
All right, so with the Bullard song going on here, we're going to say goodbye from Roosevelt High School. And Barry Fuller, Rob Takoyan. See you next time.
Yeah, wrap that part up.